Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jason Mackey's First 10, short version podcast talking all things Pittsburgh sports. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd. Hope you had a wonderful Labor Day. Man, the weather finally feels like fall around here, a little chill in the air. Well, I guess it's appropriate because it's game week. The Steelers open against the Falcons in Atlanta on Saturday. We'll talk about that some throughout the week. We also have Pitt traveling to Cincinnati, Penn State welcoming Bowling Green. The Pirates continuing to go as well. Speaking of them, it's actually a pretty encouraging win last night, 5-3 in Chicago, comeback fashion against the Cubs. We'll talk a little bit about that as well as some Steelers concerns, but actually want to lead off today's show with a college football thought. Any chances that this is a really exciting year around here, or is it just 1 week? I'm not sure. It's tough to tell. Pitt looked really good against Kent State, at least the offense, scoring 50-plus points. I'm sure a lot of people maybe looked at Cade Bell and, said a lot of the same things. The Todd Graham comparisons were made. Based on what I saw, Panthers and the Golden Flashes, that is not Todd Graham type of stuff. I really liked what I saw from Eli Holstein. I think that's a significant storyline for Pitt right now. And very much looks like they found their quarterback of now, of the future. It wasn't perfect by any stretch, but 29 of 39, 330, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The mistakes he made, minimal, in my opinion. You'll take that. You'll live with it. It's his first, real taste of college football. They need to protect him a little bit better, but so what? I think we got a taste of what the offense could be. There are plenty of playmakers there. Another one that I saw and really liked was Desmond Reed, and was kind of curious how this would go down. We found out later in the week Rodney Hammond Jr. would be ineligible. Okay, that was supposed to be kind of a 1-2 punch there. Well, Desmond Reed is the lone man standing. All he does is pile up. I didn't write down the exact total, but 220, 230 all-purpose yards, something like that. And in Bell's offense, a lot of motion shifting, moving around, plays in space, probably more to premium than straight ahead ground and pound. Really like the fit that Desmond Reed gave them. They involved Gavin Bartholomew more. I found this interesting from Chris Carter's story. 5 catches, 66 yards, 28% of his receptions from last year, 20.2% of his yards. That's significant. Holstein found 8 different receivers, everything you would want in Pitt. But I don't want to make this all about Pitt because that's not fair. Penn State was better. The competition was better. The stage was bigger, and probably a more dominant performance, frankly. There was so much to like coming out of that, and that's where I was in Morgantown. Really cool atmosphere, by the way. I had never been to Morgantown for a college football game. That was my first one. Certainly enjoyable, but really, really impressed with Penn State. Drew Allar was outstanding. I watched him play last year in person on TV, and I mean, there was some good handling of the offense. It was more game management, check down, conservative type stuff than what I saw on Saturday. What I saw on Saturday was a kid that's really grown. He understands when there's pressure, he can scoot away and where the free areas are. Some of the throws he made were NFL level throws. Harrison Wallace III looked outstanding, by the way, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I wrote about this, but it was about an 18-yard out that Allar just absolutely put on a line to Trey Wallace. That's going to work. That's absolutely going to work. Omari Evans had 2 catches for, I believe, 55 yards. Tyler Warren, their tight end, had a touchdown. And that's not even involving some of their biggest guys like Fleming, Clifford. They've got a chance to be really good. I think that's what we saw. That's what I took out of the game. I think West Virginia is actually going to be in very good shape. I have no concerns whatsoever about the Mountaineers winning games in the Big 12. I think what we saw was a really big, really good Big 10 team, Penn State. Another thing that I was really impressed by was the amount of pressure and physicality created by their defense. Now, it's not necessarily something new. I mean, this is a team that led the NCAA in sacks last year with 49. You know they could play, but they had to replace, I believe, 7 starters and defensive coordinator Manny Diaz, and these dudes just flew around to the ball. They love contact. Abdul Carter is a beast. Jalen Reed was another one. I'm not naming everybody, obviously, but this can be a very dominant defense. I feel like Bowling Green should not present too much of a challenge, but it all adds up to me. We should have 2 pretty good college football teams, and really 3 when you bring West Virginia into the mix, and I'm excited as a relatively new college football fan, but somebody that just likes this stuff a lot, what we're going to have. So, okay, got some more topics. So one more college football topic I want to address on the other side, but a lot of Pirates. First, though, a message from the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
And welcome back to First 10. Couple more minutes here. Didn't get to this in the first half, but wanted to extend a game ball or a hat tip or something. We don't really do that on this show. Maybe we should. Rob Carter Jr. of Robert Morris. You probably know his name by now, but the ridiculous one-handed interception at the end of the first half against Utah State. Wild. Robert Morris lost the game 36-14, but you've probably seen, again, the clip circulating social media. Crazy, perfectly timed leap, turn to face the quarterback, one hand and around. I don't even know how you write this, let alone do it. Just an absolute magic act. I know there's a story on our website. I believe Joe Starkey had him on his show. Just absolutely crazy, reaching up with one hand, twisting, going to the ground, and maintaining possession. Really cool play. All right, that's the last little bit about college football. Pirates-wise, I was impressed with some things that I saw last night. And if I was a Cubs fan, by the way, I'm going to start this off, I would have been irritated as all get out. Jamison Tyone, 7 innings, no runs allowed, was cruising. They take him out. Pitch count 87, maybe low 90, something like that. I'm sorry. I'm letting him go another one. I might let him go for a complete game. I mean, you're at 90 pitches. You could theoretically get out from 110-ish. If a guy's throwing a shutout and he's got to extend his pitch count to 110, I know the older group was going to look at this and say the younger group is soft or something like that. Even as somebody who sort of straddles both worlds, I don't understand why a guy can't throw a complete game shutout in 110 or fewer pitches. I just would not have gone to the bullpen there. That's also not a Pirates problem. Pirates fans should be plenty happy. That's what Craig Counsell did. Jared Jones, last night pitch was outstanding. 6 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Probably the best we've seen Jones since he's been back. And this is something I talk about on here every week, every couple of days. It's going to be very important for him to get back, get comfortable, get established, learn between starts, see him improve, which you certainly have done. Pirates were able to slip in front. As you know, Brian Reynolds, 3-run homer. All the dude does is produce. I mean, my goodness, we take him for granted. I think he's taken for granted across Major League Baseball, but a mammoth swing last night to give them some hope. Andrew McCutchen keeps doing it too, had his 18th home run. That's his most home runs since 2021 when he had 27. His second highest total since hitting 20 in 2018. Very good stuff from Kutch. He's come back, has looked absolutely fantastic. And I've written this, we've talked about it. I mean, is he on your team next year? He darn well better be. I mean, that shouldn't even be a question at this point. I mean, he's one of your 3 best bats. I'm not even getting into the legacy of him in Pittsburgh. It's just it's a foregone conclusion at this point if he's not on the roster. That is just flat out silliness. So, okay, some other interesting things. Henry Davis hit a ball really hard. This isn't excusing what he's done up here because I think the average is about 150. It's not good enough. Need to keep playing him. Big bunt by Henry Davis, of all things. I don't know if you had the same feeling I did watching that. So how is Henry Davis the one to get a bunt down? But a key situation there, got them an insurance run. Really like that. Was also curious to see what route Derek Shelton would go in the 9th inning. You see Aroldis Chapman pitch the 8th, which is the higher leverage spot. No issue there. You're facing better hitters. Chapman does his job. And it's neat at Wrigley. You can't immediately see who's warming up. So I think there's a little bit of a delay there. Anyway, they bring in Dennis Santana for the save. And again, no issue. I think it was the right call. Santana has pitched absolutely lights out since the Pirates got him, did his job in the 9th inning, and great. But, it begats an interesting question, what happens with David Bednar. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit tomorrow. I know the guys, Andrew and Noah, got into it as well. short version, I don't think there's anything you really could or should do. I think you need to ride this out. I don't think, you can't, the DFA Bednar stuff is silly. It's not going to get you anywhere. He's still under contract. Are you going to let him go second year of arbitration, 2-time All-Star for a relative discount? I wouldn't. I mean, maybe it opens your eyes to a little bit more of a closer by committee kind of thing. I don't know. But you just need to get him right. You need to get him healthy. I'm not sure there's anything really overcomplicated to do. My Pitt topic, I think I'll maybe just address this very quickly, and maybe we get into it down the road. But I mean, it is so important for them to get off to a fast start, and I'm worried about their ability to do that. And it starts up front. We heard all offseason how important the offensive line is, and through no fault of anybody really except injury. It's just, does it concern you? Concerns me. You're going to have Spencer Anderson in there at left guard. And I like Spencer Anderson's backstory. Fine. Like, he's played a billion positions at Maryland. He's looking for an opportunity here, 7th round pick. Great. I want to see what he can do, but I'm not exactly confident in the Steelers' offensive line. All these young guys, bit parts, coalescing immediately, and you need to be able to run the ball. You need to have time to throw the ball downfield. There's some definite concerns there. And again, with the way the Steelers' schedule is, backloaded with division teams, very tough on the back end, they need to make hay now. You need to be able to put away teams like the Falcons. And right now, the Steelers are looking at going into this week 1 game. I don't know if I could tell you who their offensive. I mean, I could make my best guess. Zach Frazier's going to start in the middle. It's actually pretty good. If you got Anderson and James Daniels on either side of him, Troy Fautanu, if he practices and he's good to go this week, I'd imagine that kicks Broderick Jones over to the left. I'll believe it when I see it, because Dan Moore is the immovable man. So anyway, a storyline to watch for this week, something I'm going to be tracking, and something I think is going to matter a great deal to the Steelers. That's it for for today's episode. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'm actually heading out to Pitt volleyball tonight. Looking forward to that. Probably talk about that on the show tomorrow as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can get this and a bunch of other content from our Post-Gazette North Shore Drive podcast and YouTube network. And thanks for watching First 10, everybody.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.